Everyone has the gift. Everyone can connect to their own intuition. Everyone can connect with their spirit guides. For me, it's a case of if you connect with your spirit guides, you will improve your own intuition. Like you will feel a greater connection. You will receive more signs and messages and guidance that you can connect. And that is like really, really powerful.
You're listening to the Almost 30 podcast, a lifestyle podcast hosted by Krista Williams and Lindsey Simsick.
Tune in for a new episode every Tuesday to hear our honest conversations about topics like wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and self-development with guests who are really smart, really inspirational,
and really fucking funny. It's real, it's raw, and it's unfiltered.
Inspired by our transition from our 20s to our 30s, we realized it's so much more than that. Our mission is to provide you with the tools, guidance, and motivation to help you navigate any transitions in your life and propel your personal growth.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Almost 30 podcast.
Here we go.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Almost 30 podcast. Yeah, we're 30 years old.
How many people this week have been like...
People think they're so funny when they say that. I love everyone. So
I love everyone.
I don't mean to say that like light and love, blessings. I don't mean to say that like a bitch, but it'd be hard.
Or like, but that. I'm 34. And
yeah,
we're like,
if you hear that
fine.
every day. It's like every day of my life. I'm like, yeah, we're 30 now.
I remember the day that we sat down and tried to think of the name of this podcast.
I wish we could find the list.
Oh man, I would die for that list.
Yeah.
It's in a marble notebook somewhere.
Yeah, I wonder what it was called. I wonder what else we had.
We were probably like turning 30.
I know.
Or like
transitions. 2 girls, 1 mic.
Yeah, I think we did have that. That was so
probably some.
Yeah. I don't even know why I know why we felt like Almost 30 was right, because it just was right. But it's just weird that like we were both like, yes, that's it.
Literally, no truer words have been spoken.
Did that even make sense?
Dude, I've been laughing real hard this weekend and I love it. I love when I laugh so hard that people look at me.
I like when like
That's the best.
You can't even open your eyes when you're laughing. You're like, oh my God.
I love when you go like this after you're like, oh. Justin does that a lot. He always is like to like stop from laughing. Oh man. I don't know what it is. Sometimes you just let it loose. Sometimes you're just like loosey goosey with your laughs and you're like just belting.
It's so fun.
It's the best.
It's so fun. My mom called me yesterday, or no, I called my mom yesterday on FaceTime because I was with my sister. And we were, like whatever, we had just showered and we were like in our little towels. So it's like, let's call mom, whatever. And my mom, moms will always answer a FaceTime. Like, doesn't matter where they are.
What was she doing? Grocery store?
She was out to dinner with my dad and a other couple. But like, you don't answer. You can't hear me. So like literally the FaceTime was,
I mean, that's the highlight of the dinner.
She's like, hi honeys, like, whatever. But then like every time she wanted to hear what we were saying, I would get a FaceTime just her hair. Just her hair. And then she'd be like, what? And then she would put her hair. And then the kicker, Lex goes, oh no. I'm like, what? She's like, oh God, she's going to pan. And we were like, what?
Out to dinner.
And we're in our towels. We look naked because it's like whatever. And she like pans it to the couple across the table and the entire restaurant and the waiter. And we were just like waiting. We were like, okay.
Fuck, that's so fucking funny.
But it's such a parent thing to do.
Such a parent
wherever
thing to do.
they are,
Yeah.
So sweet.
We actually FaceTimed Justin's mom today. She like loves it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Sweet Joan.
So cute.
She could like see half of her forehead for 90% of the FaceTime.
Because they don't know.
Yeah.
They think you just need to see their eyes.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah. It's so funny.
So cute. Well, this one changed our life.
Yeah, man. I've seen probably 17 psychics in my life, and I've seen 2 that are legit, and she's the second of the legit psychics I've ever seen in my life.
Natalie actually reached out to us because she was getting like downloads to reach out to us, the tap on the shoulder to reach out to us from Spirit. And
God's plan.
I mean, truly, like when she said that, I was like, huh?
I know.
What do you mean?
She probably saw her dumbass memes on Instagram a lot. She's like, what the hell?
But I also like now know. I now know why. And we're doing a really exciting event with Natalie up in Seattle. So check that out. But we each had individual readings, and I think they came at the right time. I think the day that I had it, I had broken up with a boy I was dating, and I was like, whoa, okay, I need this right now. And it was just like so much of what you talk about with an intuitive is so heart opening and eye opening, because like you already had a feeling, like they will say things that are like, whoa, always, but it also is just like this tug, like, hey, like you knew that. And like, you've always known that, and it's always been inside of you. So it's just really, honestly, it's therapy to me. Like it is therapy. I feel so much better. It was incredible. It changed my life. Some things that she told me.
And it's like, what's going on. It's like she knows what's going, like this is what's really happening in your life. Like there's details, but like she knew what was actually going on in my life. Like she talked about our space, our apartment that Jess and I live in, wanting to like move out of it and get a bigger space like immediately. And then just like kind of the way I am not super vulnerable, which is like really big. So being more vulnerable with Justin, being more vulnerable with the people that I love. I'm kind of just like so busy, quote unquote, whatever, that I don't take time to be vulnerable with people. And I think it kind of puts a wall up sometimes. So that was major. But there was other things too. I can't really think. Well, the thing about the being myself in all situations too, like I have a lot of different situations or things in my life that like aren't connected or aren't enmeshed. So that means that I'm acting different in sort of various situations, not on purpose. And I'm not like it's not like I'm being completely different, but
it's more just like a programming too. Like,
finding a way to merge everything in my life so that I can consistently be who I'm supposed to be at all times.
Yeah.
In everything that I do.
Such a good one.
And then Justin saw her.
Yeah. I'm so glad he went.
Me too. She sat outside the door and listened to everything.
Listen to the recording.
I said, hey, what are you guys talking about me?
She told me that I was going.
You're talking about what
I want to say it out loud so that if it does happen, I want Almost 30 Nation to hear and know that it's fucking real. She said that whoever like my person is going to live across the country, or he's going to be like traveling a lot.
Forgot that.
So she's like, get ready for that. She's like, it's not going to be like super easy in the beginning. It won't be forever, but like you will have to do long distance. And I was like, great.
Wow.
But which is interesting because honestly, if I talk to myself honestly, that is somewhat of an ideal situation for the type of person I am. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like if I have the means to fly and like make it work, then like it's kind of an ideal situation for a little bit, not forever, but I mean, I'll,
break the circuits, honey.
I don't mind that. And then she also said like my biggest block is that I'm not writing, which I know.
Wow.
But she's like, everything will open up once you start writing. I was like, okay.
Wow. Also, her specialty is spirit guides.
Yes. So this
is what makes her unique and special is that she specializes, sounds weird, but like her thing is understanding and knowing spirit guides.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot about that. Each of us has, a group of spirit guides, and then we have one that stays with us for our whole life. And she really improved my connection with my spirit guide and kind of told me about her and kind of reiterated things that I already knew. But now I talk to her, very frequently and kind of like see her as my bud, that's with me all the time.
Me too. And mine's a dude.
Yeah.
Jack.
He's got a big dick. Justin's is a girl.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
I asked him the other day, I was like, what's your spirit guide's name? He's like, Sophia. I love him. I'm like, that's exactly what her name is.
Yeah.
He's like, she's so sweet.
You just know. It was funny because I had never really spoken to my spirit guides before. So when she was describing it, she's like, yeah, just take a moment later and just like ask. Because I said to her, I was like, is it a male or female? I was like, wait, don't tell me. Because I wanted to like feel it. And then I was like, it's a male. And she's like, yeah, it's a male. She's like, but ask him what his name is later. And I literally closed my eyes and it came through. So it just feels right. Like, it's really interesting. And it's fun to like call them forward and ask for things. Totally. So she talks a lot about that, how you can do it. You know, we talk about the woo-woo and because this stuff, it's true.
It's real.
Don't care.
It's real.
It's real.
It's real.
So Natalie Miles, this is going to blow your mind if you are up in Seattle in August. What is
August
the exact
11th?
August 11th.
So August 11th at the Riveter in Seattle from 3 to 6 p.m. We are so excited to hang out with you. That space is stunning. And so that event is a little bit different than other stops on our tour because it's a little bit longer and it's more of a workshop. So Natalie really is going to be guiding us through figuring out who your spirit guides are. And she's going to be doing like a mini reading with everyone. So it's a little bit deeper than others, but it's going to be rad.
Yeah. I'm so
excited. And her website is iamnataliemiles.com. She is on Instagram, I am Natalie Miles.
And what a sweetheart.
Yeah, man. And she's my friend.
Yeah.
Like, I love her. She's like my friend. She's laughing. She's cool. Like, she's the best. Actually, her website is natalie-miles.com.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. All right. We love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Join the secret Facebook group. Let's chat about it. Subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It means so much to us as we grow like hell. Head to the top, baby.
Popping off. Joe Rogan, here we come.
Literally, can you imagine if we got a call from Joe? Do you want to come on the pod? What would we say? Well, gotta look at her schedule.
Say, I don't know how to hunt.
Literally. What would we talk about? Okay, guys. Love you. Enjoy this one.
Enjoy.
This episode is brought to you by Thrive Market.
Got my delivery.
What'd you get?
Got my delivery yesterday.
What'd you get?
Apple cider vinegar.
What are you making?
Kind of random, right? I got apple cider vinegar and then it's just like, it's a staple that you should have.
Every time you're feeling a little sick.
Yeah. I have it in the morning. Helps with digestion in an insane amount. Helps with my skin energy. Helps balance the pH of your body. And I just always forget it. So I needed to just get more. And then I got more of the Primal Kitchen mayo.
Yeah, it's the best.
So
I've actually been on one with Dr. Bronner's. Do you use Dr. Bronner's?
No, what is it?
It's like all natural soaps and things, but like there's like a book on the label. So I like to read it when I'm like in the shower. It's very weird. Anyway, I use their unscented organic shaving soap.
Cool.
And it's really good.
I need to buy shaving soap. Yeah, there's just stuff on Thrive that I feel like I wouldn't have known about Dr. Bronner's unless they have it. And because it's on Thrive, I'm like, oh, I can trust this.
Yeah. They also have this grain-free granola that I've like put on my coconut yogurt. Been trying not to do as much like grain shit, even though I love the grain granola, but the grain-free is so good. It's like a paleo granola by Thrive Market. So Thrive has their own brand that is bomb.
It's really
and affordable. So on Thrive, you're already saving money. And on top of that, you can use our link, thrivemarket.com/almost30. That'll take you to our landing page where you'll see all of our favorites and you'll get an extra 25% off your purchase. So that's Thrive Market, thrivemarket.com/almost30 for 25% off. We know you're going to love it. Join the secret Facebook group. We can talk about our favorite products. This is just another tool in the toolbox to make your life so much easier. This episode is also brought to you by Altera Pure. Now that I'm an adult, I feel like it is my responsibility to myself to make sure that I have sheets that reflect how I want to sleep, how good I feel, what I deserve. For so long, I was like, what were those jersey knit sheets that like you'd sweat through and like The worst.
I had those in college too.
But these are, so Altera Pure is a company that is creating sustainable sheets. They are totally transparent about their process. They believe in the process of seed to sanctuary. So you can ask them any questions you want, which is so rad. We actually called them up. We were like, yo, like, where are you sourcing these? You know, in terms of like ethically, how you are treating kind of like where they're being made. Do you know what I mean? So we're really proud to be partners with them. And on a surface level, these sheets are like stunning and comfortable and great quality.
Yeah, Luke's Story likes them. So anything.
Yeah, literally.
This Luke's Story approved, I'm in. But I just really want to surround my skin and body with something that's natural and organic. I don't want to be sleeping in chemicals. You know, for the 8 hours a night that I do sleep, I don't want my skin to be absorbing any of the crap that conventional sheets are on. So we're proud sponsors. We're proud to be sponsored by Altera Pure. We love what they're doing. We love the transparency. We love the price point, and we love the product.
Yeah. So you can go to alterapure.com, ALTERRAPURE.com, and use our code for 15% off your order. So that's alterapure.com. Use our code almost30, ALMOST30 for 15% off your order. Where are you from in the UK?
50 miles west of London.
Okay.
Yeah, a place called Reading.
Reading.
Wow. But then I was in London 10 years before I moved to Vancouver.
Right.
Because I remember speaking to you, you said, oh, where are you based? And I thought you meant like, I actually live in Vancouver. So I don't live in LA. We had that chat yesterday right at the end.
Yes.
And I was suddenly like, I got in the car and I was like, she probably thinks I live in LA, but I don't. I
do. I did think you lived in LA. So I just got it now.
Hey, 0 for 2. Last interview you said, where does she live?
I know.
We've had 2 interviews today. Lindsay has got where they lived twice.
That's why I was saying, like, I'm supposed to give her that message now to tell her that I don't live in LA.
Spirit told me to tell you that I don't live in LA.
So wait, I said, do you live in Venice? But you said you're staying in Venice.
I'm staying in Venice.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay, now that everything's clear, we lit some Palo Santos, and we're ready to go.
Yeah. First things, guys, I guess we've talked about that in the intro, that we just had a session with her. And we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about the session. But we're always so fascinated when you got the ping to reach out to us in a way.
So the fact that it's about us already.
No, but I'm always so fascinated, you know, like when you get those messages. So one, we're so grateful because I mean, we just had a crazy shift yesterday in our session. But two, like, when did you start getting these downloads, messages? What did it feel and look like? Was it at a young age? Mm-hmm. Bring us back.
Bringing it back.
Bring it back.
Yeah. Bringing it back. Yeah. So I love getting downloads. I love getting messages from Spirit where you're like, oh, I have to reach out to these people. Like, I have to connect with these women. Like, this is important. And it just feels like it's non-negotiable. Mm. It's like a message from Spirit where it's non-negotiable and you just have to do it. And it's like it's like a magnetic pull. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm doing it. So that was why I reached out to you guys, because it was just this big download. When I first started receiving messages, so I grew up intuitive, psychic as a child, but it was always kind of in the background. So my mom and my sister are also intuitive, but it was just, we lived in an open household where it was there, but it just kind of was under the radar. It was like, it was talked about, it was held, but it wasn't a thing as such. And then, so I was growing up, it stayed in the background. And then it was around when I was 16, 17, my mum, we have circles in the UK, which is basically where there is a group of women got together and practiced their intuition skills, practiced their skills with the psychic medium. My mum said, hey, Nat, do you want to come? Do you want to come to a session? And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd love to try that.
Like, are there snacks?
I'm in. Right? that was like the first proper, like really intense, like giving messages to others, like being like practicing giving messages to others was, I was about 16,
and you were a
17.
kid, or you're 16, 17?
16, 17.
Do you think your mom got the download to ask you to come?
Yeah, wow.
Definitely.
It's a constant download.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wouldn't be here, like straight up. If I probably wouldn't be here if she hadn't have said all the way, years ago, hey, Nat, do you fancy coming along? Hey, do you want to see what it's all about? Yeah, sure. And I, when I had time, I was like, I would go and I would dip my toes in and yeah, it was really, really exciting. I really, really enjoyed connecting and feeling that energy and being like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can give messages to people. And it was a real gift. It was a real privilege to be able to share. In my 20s, again, I really switched off again from it. Like,
oh, wow.
Long-term relationship.
Were you in college or were you in university?
I was at university. Yeah, I was at university. I was kind of using it again around in that time and just tuning in. I was living with a roommate at the time who was really intuitive, and we were having, we lived in this kind of weird old house that the house had funny energy to it.
Really,
So,
like spirits?
Spirits. Yeah, spirits were around in the house in university. So that kind of triggered.
Did you talk to them, or what happened with them?
Yeah. Do you know when you have those moments where, well, I'm not sure if you've experienced it, where you feel sometimes that you're lying in bed, but it feels like someone's like pinned you down on the bed kind of vibe.
And then the ghost has sex with you. So, always happens, but I like it.
Oh, you crack me up every time.
It's going to be a long interview, just FYI.
Oh, I love it. Thank goodness not. But more a case of, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Get off me. Like, I'm not dealing with this. And it was just like an energy in the house where you just, the joys of smudging, the joys of energy clearing, like you have to do this. It's a real, real game changer. And then it was in my late 20s that I really got back kind of really connected, really using my spirit guides when I needed it the most. I always say that spirit will throw you little pebbles, like they'll throw little pebbles at you. And if you're not listening to the pebbles, they'll throw larger rocks. And if you're not listening to the rocks, they're going to bring in that massive boulder that is going to make you stop and pause and change your life to get you back onto that like path that you're supposed to be going on. Yeah.
Did you have a boulder?
I had a boulder. Yeah, I've had a couple of boulders.
Good question. That's a good one.
Have you ever asked that in a podcast? Have you had a boulder moment? I've had a couple. One was it was in a 5-year relationship. It got to a point where I had been flooded twice in a house. So our basement flooded, and we had a car drive through our front living room. Boulder moments. Where it was like, those were the real big changes in our relationship. That was, the car was the kind of the final frontier, was when the car drove through, that was when our relationship just crumbled away. And it was the end of our 5-year relationship. And at the time, I was like, why does all this stuff keep happening? Like, what is going on? And then looking back in retrospect, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, you were bringing it in. Like the universe, spirit guides were bringing it in to be like, this isn't right, Nat. What are you doing? So, that was big boulder for the relationship. And then with my job. So I used to work in film full time. I was working in film in Vancouver, and it wasn't lighting me up. Something was missing. Like I was going to work, but something just wasn't right. And my bosses basically let me go. They let me go and said, look, Nat, you're not happy. It's really obvious. You need to go and discover what you're supposed to do. You need to go and discover what you're supposed to do. And I was like, oh shit, like this is this is it. The irony was 3 months before, I'd already created my brand for doing the psychic work. And I was resisting. I wasn't making the change.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to be pushed. I need to be pushed out of my comfort zone. So yeah, that was the other bolder moment, was being let go of my full-time job and being, Spirit going, are we doing this? Are you going to do the readings full-time? Are you going to share the messages of Spirit? Let's do it. So yeah, it's been awesome.
What does the spirit guides sound like?
I know I asked that
you.
yesterday.
Yeah. So I'm only I'm right at the beginning of really listening.
Mm-hmm.
So does it sound like you all the time, or is it another voice?
For me, and it is like the voice in your head. It's like your thoughts. So your thought voice that you have in your head, it's that. So for me, it's knowing the distinction between the two, because sometimes it's like, well, hang on a second, is this me or my spirit guides? What is this? And so that's why it takes practice and connecting, but also asking for the messages and signs in other ways versus just hearing it, which is why I always say, ask for a sign, get a sign that you want to associate that when spirit are around you, when you're on the right path, when you're on the right track. So for me, mine is an owl. So I know that I'm on the right path and I'm on the right track when I see owls. If I see owls just popping up, even if I haven't asked for them, I'm like, yep, I'm on the right path. These owls just pop up around.
Oh.
Yeah. And it could be from seeing it as a piece of artwork, or seeing it in a picture in a window, or seeing it on a print on a bag. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Spirits around me. So I really encourage, ask for a sign.
Okay.
Love that. So did you have any time where you were ashamed of your gifts? Any time where you were like, I don't want this? Because it's a gift and it's also challenge. I could imagine it's challenging to know that much information and to connect in that way. You're not living the life like most people that aren't awake.
Yeah. It hasn't been, when I fully embraced it, you lose friends.
Yeah.
There's people that think you're crazy, that you're making stuff up, or that, but it's more a case of people, you become who you are completely versus just giving yourself, showing a version of yourself. So it's that whole, well, this is me, take it or leave it. This is what it's about. When the shift from going from film into doing this work full time, I was really worried. What are people going to think about me? What are they going to judge me? Are they going to think I'm weird? People know me as a certain, they know Nat as one way, and now I'm telling them that actually this is the truth. It was like a coming out of the closet, coming out of a spiritual closet, and being like, this is who I am. Yeah. And I felt like, oh my God. And then I was like, over time, it took confidence to be like, no, I'm standing in this. This is me. This is it. I know this is important. This is my sole purpose. This is why I'm here on this planet, and take it or leave it. This is me.
Do you ever have to turn it off?
Yes. Yeah, you do. Otherwise, I just feel for me, I'm good at just separating the two. I ask my guides to, I'm in work mode or I'm not in work mode. And I'll just say, no, not now. Especially when I'm just giving messages for other people. If I'm walking down the street, or, I could walk down the street and I could read the people all around me, but I don't, it's also a personal space thing. I don't want to be stepping into other people's space and reading them. I don't feel like that's, ethical as such. So I just want to, it's a permission thing that when people want to receive the messages from their guides, then I'll be there and I'll step forward and give them the messages. But yeah, I have to, when I go to bed at night, I actually say, look, no more, if people or spirits, because I'm a medium too, so loved ones step through and give me messages. So if people turn up, I have to just say, look, not now, I'm off to sleep. See, not now. And I have to switch it off.
What does it look like when they come? Does it look like a person?
For me, there's a certain feeling that I feel in my body when I know that it's someone who's passed over that's coming through. It's a particular type of feeling. It's a particular type of tingle that I have on one side of the body. And then I see an outline of the person, and I can describe like what they look like. And then I also then hear them. So they show me imagery, and I hear their voice and what they're saying. So it's a real blend of seeing, feeling, knowing, and hearing. So I get it all as a combination package.
Wow. I get no love from the other side. My loved ones don't come through. No, I've never had a loved one
pass.
I mean, I've never had a loved one. I'm like,
and the podcast done.
Literally. I've never had a past person come through.
But have you had anyone close to you pass?
Oh yeah. My grandparents, but my dad's mom. I love her, but there's.
They're like, no, we're staying in the wings. And it happens.
Literally. They're like, we're good.
So that happens. So people come and they're like, I want to speak to this person. But the energy of how that person was in human when they were alive is the same as the energy that they have in spirit. So if someone is naturally shy or when they were alive, that comes through or when they're on the other side, and you kind of have to coax them and encourage them to like, hey, this is okay, like step forward. This isn't scary. And the ones who are normally really bold and brash and have massive personalities when they were living, you get that energy from the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally see. Because your grandpa came through?
Yeah, both of mine have come. Papa didn't come through yesterday, but my other one that I haven't met came through yesterday with a message from my dad.
Oh, cool.
Which was interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
But yeah, my grandfather, my papa, who I was very close to, like will come through and other readings that I've had and like play joke. Like he's like a jokester.
He's cheeky.
Always been. And so he'll come in, like we were trying to record one of the sessions and like it wouldn't work. And she was like, okay, like we get it. You're funny. And then it worked. Like he's very playful in spirit too. And I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Here, I see him in Mourning Doves. And no joke, I swear to God, yesterday, I almost stepped on a mourning dove. It was on the step. And I just stepped and it went like in my face. I was like, okay. It's just like things like that where I'm like, if it's him, if it's not. But for me, it is him, And he's like very playful and in my face all the time.
Yeah. And he is like, I feel that energy. He's playful, he's cheeky, and he likes the fact that he can play jokes from the other side and wind you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like putting a dove on literally right at your feet.
Yeah.
That's something that he would do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Wow. Big time.
Normally it'd be a dead dove if he was alive, He's
like, but I guess you gotta keep it light.
I guess where I want to go to, like for people who want to talk to their spirit guides, like I think, what are ways that they can do that like right now? And then over time, develop that skill. I know it takes practice. I think people just automatically think if they can't do it right away, then they don't have a gift. But you told me yesterday, everyone has the gift. So what does that mean?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone has the gift. Everyone can connect to their own intuition. Everyone can connect with their spirit guides. For me, it's a case of if you connect with your spirit guides, you will improve your own intuition. Like you will feel a greater connection. You will receive more signs and messages and guidance that you can connect. And that is like really, really powerful because in the end, it's not about looking for the answers that you're looking for from other people. It's about looking for the answers that are already within you. In the end, we all know the things we need to be bringing in. It's just sometimes when we go and see other people for that clarification, that then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I know I'm on the right path. But when we connect with our guides and we can bring that in, we can really learn to cultivate that relationship. So ways that you can connect with your spirit guide, because we have like spirit guides. It's like a team. I call them our cheerleader team in spirit. There are 6 to 8 different guides that come in at different times, but we all have one main spirit guide that we're born with. They come through when we're born and they leave when we pass over to the other side. So it is like a lifelong relationship. So they're working behind the scenes to help and guide you and give you messages. So the best way to bring them in, number one, ask them to step forward. Like a lot of the time they're shy. A lot of the time because you haven't been working with them or listening to them, they don't think that you want to work with them or don't know that you're ready to. So you do literally just have to say, hey, I want to work with you. Go and sit quietly or go and walk, go outside and walk in nature somewhere. But say, I want to connect with you. Ask them to step forward. That's the first main step. Like that's huge. I always like to share the shower technique. Showers and spirit guides. Everyone's like, really? You're connecting with your spirit guide in the shower? Isn't that a little bit weird? No, because it's you can use the water to clear your aura. So you in the morning, this is what I do every morning. It's my top tip. You use the water to clear your aura, and then you bring in your spirit guides and say, what do I need to know today? What do I need to know today? And just notice where your thoughts go. Just notice like any feelings or emotions or things that you need to focus on. Like it really helps you to get set up. In fact, I've just launched a 11-day course, like a digital online course called Get Guided. So it is 11 days. You get content into your inbox every day for 11 days. It's like all my top tips, guided meditations, exercises, rituals. And it basically takes you from having no experience to connecting with your guides to having and growing that, cultivating that relationship. So, I was just divine download from spirit. They were like, let's do this. Let's like get people from nothing to having that connection. It's also for people who already have that connection with their guides, but are looking for knowing more about them.
I said yesterday after you left, I sat there and I said out loud, actually, I was like, I want to know you, like about my spirit guides. And I started bawling. I started bawling. I was like, I'm crying right now thinking about it. And that's the thing are some spirit guides just really sad? You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if you're a spirit guide for someone, they don't even know you? And they're like, I'm here all the time. Like, this is a thankless job.
I love connecting people to their guides. And when people do connect, because our guides have such infinite love for us that it does bring up all the emotions. Like people don't realize that when we truly connect, it makes you tap into that emotional place that you forget that's already within you. So the fact that you said, I asked them to step forward and I felt like super emotional and I just wanted to bawl my eyes out. That is actually the most natural reaction to when you're bringing them forward and experiencing them, because it's like finding and connecting to like a love or a partner that you haven't experienced before. It's like you've missed this person and suddenly you're reacquainting yourself with that energy that you have missed, but you know it. You know it in your heart that it's there when you connect. And so, it makes you super emotional.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a great feeling to know, someone is like there. So there's 8.
Yeah.
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Yeah.
Everyone has different, they have different roles.
I probably have like 20.
My
team's pretty big.
Krista! I love it. That is classic. Yeah, it's like a whole team.
A whole squad.
A whole school bus.
Got a school bus.
Yeah. They all have different roles to play. So some of them are there to ground us. Some of them are there to protect us. There's a healing guide. There are the messenger guides. Yeah, so it just really depends. And different guides will appear at different times. So for example, I never had a native First Nation guide. And then when I moved to Vancouver, one step forward to help me get grounded into Vancouver. And because I was feeling super lost and really ungrounded and being like, why am I here? And he stepped forward and was like, don't worry, I got you. And just really helped. So now when I'm feeling ungrounded in my life, he steps forward and it's like, hey, I've got your back. Don't worry about it. It's really cool. So we have the main guide, and then there'll be other guides that pop in throughout your life. And people always ask, so can a loved one that's passed over be a guide for me? And I always say that a loved one can be part of the cheerleader team. They're not your main guide, but they can be part of like the backup team.
Right.
Yeah.
So is a guide someone that's passed?
So your main spirit guide can be someone that you have had previous human lifetimes with. So their past lives are real, past lives exist. And so you can have a main spirit guide that you have had a previous a human lifetime with. So you can basically have multiple lifetimes with each other. So my guide, for example, she has been with me for hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes. We've got this team thing going down, and she's always with me. So when I connected with her and we had a chat and she came through, and it was like, whoa, yeah, we've done this a lot of times together.
How do you know if they're male or female? You just have a feeling?
How
do we know?
Yeah, how do you know? You can straight up go with the intuition. Does this feel like a feminine energy, or does this feel like a masculine energy? It's the same as if you meet someone in the street. Are they a feminine person or are they masculine?
Right.
Or if it's a guy or a girl, like you know what the energy is. You can put that energy around it.
Right.
So you just tune in, shut your eyes, and it's like, okay, is this a man or is this a woman? And just see what comes up. It might also straight up not be a man or a woman. It could just be an energy being. We can have star seeds. We can have aliens are real people. We can have starseed spirit guides. So if you have had a starseed, if you are a starseed yourself or have had starseed lives, you can have a starseed spirit guide. So you might just see
starseed.
I don't like to use the word alien, but it's someone that's from a different planet. So yeah.
So if you have that
energy
a part of you, or inside, like,
oh yeah,
how would it? What do you mean by that? So like, are they here, or are they? Is it from another life that you've had?
Good question. You're asking all the good ones, guys. We have chosen, for a lot of people, we have chosen to experience a human existence and to experience what it is to be human. But actually, they are from other planets. And so but this time around, they've chosen to have a human existence and to experience what it is to feel human emotions, have human relationships that are very different to, for example, being a starseed or being an alien or being from a different planet, which has a completely different social structure or energy or way of being is different. So, yeah.
Wow. So what would be the goal? You know, if you're like a starseed and then you come and learn some lessons, then you go on to another, I guess it's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're just continuing to up level until what?
Exactly. It's like, and that's why I always used to I love the word upgrade. That's why it's it's why it's in my business, the spirit upgrade, because we're all upgrading. We're all upgrading our DNA. We're all upgrading like what that looks like. And it's the same on a soul level. You know, we have past lives. We're all coming here to experience and to kind of learn. That's the point that we're here on this planet, is to learn. Learn what's right, what's wrong, what joy is, what in the end though, it all comes back to love. It's all love. Yeah. But we're all energy.
Yeah. So if spirit guides could potentially be people that, you know, you may or may not have met, or someone that was on this earth, I'm good and I'm really a light person, but I'm not 100% love. So how could someone be my spirit guide I guess I'm thinking of it very literally, but you know what I mean? Are they die and then they're transformed to being all love?
Yeah. So what I love so when we go home, I like to call it, when we go home and we transition to the other side, we're not experiencing the human emotions anymore. So we go back to our pure state of what we were before, which is just light, joy, abundance, which is why we're all trying to find that connection on this planet. And we're all trying to, in the end, it all comes back down to that. So if you've had, that's why when loved ones come through in readings or in sessions, that, when people ask, are they in pain? Are they suffering? It's like, no, we're the ones, ironically, that are left in the pain and the suffering and feeling the emotions. They've gone back to pure bliss. They've gone home. they've gone back to that pure state.
Ram Dass says it's like taking off a tight shoe.
Yeah.
You know, you're like letting go. Like it's like that release of, you know, our physical body.
Yeah. And I mean, and we're all walking each other home. In the end, that's, you know, another Ram Dass, like that we really are. We're all just, you know, in the end, the goal is the home. We're here for the learning. And then that's why that whole, you know, the energy of fearing death and what that looks like. And then we're all kind of, you know, on this ticking clock. Not to be negative, anyone,
it's not.
But it's a state of transcendence. It's a state of like,
it actually makes me feel better,
right?
Yeah.
Knowing that there's something beyond this.
Yeah, like I've always believed that, but even just to think about it, like we're like walking each other home and to go home, like that feels like I'm taken care of and I don't have to worry about death. Because I'll have moments where I worry about death.
Yeah,
for sure.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Like getting older and the fears of it, you know, what happens in that moment. But you know that in that moment, you also have like all your family that meet you on the other side. Like they're already there. They're there to like help you and transition you.
Yeah.
And it's actually, you know, a beautiful experience.
Can your spirit guides talk to other spirit guides? Can you ask them to talk to other ones?
Yes.
So that's how you get messages?
Yeah. So,
to other people? Or?
Yeah, I like to describe how when I'm in my sessions that I am basically channeling your guides and my guides and they're having a chat. So yeah, you can connect with other people's guides.
But does that person have to be like on a conscious level to like, say I want to like send my brother a message or something, you know, like talk to his guides type of like talk to my guides to talk to his guides. And does he have to be open enough to receive it, I guess, is the question.
And I know exactly what you mean. And two, it's like, what if the guides are like, that's for you?
Yeah.
It's not for him.
Yeah.
Do you know? Or like, do you know, like this is his journey. Cause
totally
trying to send people's guides messages right now.
Yeah. And it's also that whole thing around protection as well. So our guides are really protective around of each other. Like we have for some people, their guides are, you know, they're the gatekeepers. They're the gatekeepers to your energy as well. So a lot of the time it'll just be like, yeah, no, we're not doing this, which is why when I'm doing one-on-one sessions with people, by you being in my space and agreeing to do a reading, you're agreeing to receiving those messages and for your guides to kind of share the messages.
Okay.
Was our guides girls or boys? Do you know, remember?
Oh, I'll have to tune in to like get that.
We don't want you to work, but
I kind of want to test it. Like I want to guess.
I know.
And then I want you to confirm it.
What do you think yours is?
I don't know. I haven't tuned in right. I'm not tuned in.
I don't know either.
My instinct is that it's a man.
Man. And yours is a woman. Guy.
I feel that.
Girl. Yeah.
I feel it.
But what happens is that, so your female guide the irony is with her, she's really, what happens is we take on the personalities of our guides as well, a little bit. So
explains a lot.
She's a bit of a kook.
I was like, I'm dressed like a boy.
You're wearing like a tuxedo t-shirt. You're like, what do you mean?
Oh, you guys are genius. I love it. Absolutely love it. She's really feisty. She's feisty with a lightness. There's like an ethereal energy to her, but you wouldn't want to mess with her. Like she's very protective of you. She's got a very driven, but she's got a very ethereal light energy to her. And I know we talked about this yesterday in our session, but the whole the mermaid and the water elements of that, she really resonates with that, which is why you resonate with it. Yeah.
I need more salt baths.
More salt baths. And your guide, yeah, definitely Guy.
He's like a surfer dude. He's like in tech.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, he's real tight.
We're tight.
I could see yours being a dude.
Yeah, I felt like it was a guy. I definitely think I have female like cheerleaders for sure.
Yeah. But your main guide is definitely a guy. Yeah. And I just encourage you, for me, I always say like, to discover who your guide is such a personal experience and a personal transformation. Like to experience what they're all about is just the game changer.
Okay.
We interrupt this episode to bring you a word from our sponsor, Apres.
My favorite.
I'm so excited because not a lot of people know about it yet. So I know. I'm like, this is when we're like, oh, should we tell everyone? Because we want to make sure they don't sell out.
I know. All our sponsors always sell out.
Apres is your new non-GMO, vegan, gluten, dairy, and soy-free replenishment post-workout.
Yep.
And it is so nourishing.
Like it
Anytime, I know.
It's like a sweet treat. It's so good for you. It has protein. The ingredients are right. I love the protein-fat ratio. Protein-fat-carb ratio is right. It's fucking creamy delicious.
It's so delicious. So there's 13 grams of organic plant proteins, which promotes satiation, so you're feeling full, and a healthy, lean physique. So you do need to be taking in protein. You know, if you're thinking about, oh, I shouldn't take in too many calories, let's be thinking about what type of calories you're taking in too. It also has metabolic fats from the 4+ grams of organic virgin coconut oil. So that will sustain your energy. And then the electrolytes from the organic coconut water help you to rehydrate, which I am always struggling to do. And there's only 6 grams of sugar per bottle. I'm sorry. Like, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
The flavors
are in. It is so creamy, delish.
So they have sea salt chocolate and mint cacao, and they're coming out with new flavors. So stay tuned for that.
Can't wait.
So listen up. You can go to drinkapres.com. So that's drinkapres.com. And you can use our code almost30 for 15% off your first order. So that's drinkapres.com. Use our code almost30 for 15% off.
This episode is also brought to you by
Everlywell. You can take control of your health and do the tests that you are looking to find the answers to right in your own home. Finally.
I know. I've been wanting to do this actually for a really long time, because you can get tests for what the test I got was my metabolism. So I can test my metabolism to understand how efficiently my body burns calories so that it can really help me to like adjust my diet and nutrition and stuff. You can get mold tests, because mold is actually like a really popular thing right now. People are talking about making sure you're testing your mold. You can get your thyroid test. That's also related to your weight. So weight management like really starts in the thyroid. So understanding if your thyroid is functioning appropriately. These tests are next level, and it's really what you need to take control of your health.
And what's so great is that you get your tests in your account, like the test results in your account, so you can check them right away within like a week or two. And it's a really detailed explanation with actionable insights. So it's kind of broken down so that you can understand it. It's not just these charts and numbers that you're going to have to ask a doctor to explain. They've already done that work for you. And it's just one more way you can own your health. So, you know, we are totally behind this brand. You can go to everlywell.com, everlywell.com, and you can use our code almost30 for 15% off your first order. So take a look on the site. There's so many tests to choose from. Again, like even just a simple food sensitivity test. Maybe you're like dealing with some intestinal issues or inflammation, whatever it is. They have that. They also have a cholesterol and lipids test, an omega-3 basic test, a heart health test. And it's really easy. All you have to do, depending on the test, is prick your finger, pee in a cup, or spit into a tube. And you get the results within weeks. So everlywell.com, and you can use our code almost30.
What was the first time you met your guide? Like,
I was 5.
wow.
Huh? I don't remember when I was 5.
I remember, I have crazy memories that I remember from being a really small child. My first earliest memories when I was about 3.5. 3.5 is my first. Wow. 3.5 is my first earliest memory that I can remember. And I have this, everyone laughs, like I have this weird brain where I remember things. People always laugh, like they'll come and have a session with me and I'll remember things about them. And they're like, how do you remember that? You've seen like hundreds and thousands of people. Like, how do you remember like these details? I'm like, I don't know, it just comes in.
Wow.
But yeah, spirit guide was 5. But it was more a case of just seeing an energy or a feeling and having that, like, I'm here to look after you. I'm here to guide you. But it wasn't until, again, I was like in my teens that it was more a case of, okay, so who are you? What's your name? Because they have names too. Oh. So you can ask their name.
I just asked mine her name today in the car. I was like, what's your name?
What is her name? Did you get it yet? Well, do you get it right away? Or do you
I think I got it, but I don't know.
Again, it's that trust thing. You have to trust the first name that you hear.
Yeah.
Like what it stands for and what it means. And, you know, sometimes you might just get it like an A or a B or like, okay, so it starts with A. And then it might take a bit of time to pull it out. But a lot of the time it's like, no, go with the first thing I hear.
I love that. What's it like? So being in a relationship, do you guys have your guides talk? Like, do you know his guide?
Yeah. Yeah, I know his guide. Yeah, I do. It's really...
He's annoying, right?
It's a girl, right?
Yeah. She's a bitch.
Yeah, she gets in the way all the time.
You're like, hey, enough of you. Tell him.
Yeah, my boyfriend's guide. He, it's really funny. When I first met Daryl, we kind of like, his guide was really like step forward, and I was like, do you know who I said to him, do you know who your guide is? And he's like, well, not really. And I was like, okay, so this is who I'm being shown. And so yeah, he has this like like an alchemist, like there's a guide who's like this kind of alchemical guide, which is pretty cool. It is fun but being in a relationship and being the work I do, yeah, it's fun. Like, it's crazy. He really holds space for me when I'm like, oh, this happened, and I saw this, and yeah, he's just funny. He's a skeptic and he believes in it. So I get the best of both. It's always like, well, prove to me that this is real. But he's the best support. He's the best support system. He keeps it really, really, really real. But he always jokes because I can't, it's like I know stuff before, I know stuff that he's doing. So he's like, damn it, I can't keep anything from you.
I'm like, yes, honey.
Where are your mom and sisters in their journey? Like, do they continue? Like, are they as kind of like, it's a part of their life as much as it is yours?
My mom's a therapist. So my mom works as a therapist. So, I know that shows up in her space. My sister is so intuitive, but doesn't use it. She's that neither of them are doing, working in it full time. But both of them are really, really intuitive. So, for example, my sister was hilarious. The other, it was about a couple of years ago, and I was back in the UK, and my phone started ringing, and it was no number. We didn't know who it was. I was like, no, I'm going to answer it. So I answered the phone, and before I answered the phone, my sister said, I bet you that woman's called Maria. I was like, okay, yeah, let's have a look at that. So I answered the phone, and I was like, yeah, oh, hi, yeah. And then I was like, thank you, Maria. And I looked at my sister and I put the phone down. I was like, yeah, okay. So look at those skills and talents that you've got. She nailed it that the person was called Maria. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Wow.
Was that like, I'm sure that was like all 3 girls that are all intuitive though. Was that challenging at times?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it isn't. We all have our different skills and different talents. And yeah, my sister kind of keeps hers really under wraps. She's very private about her skills. And my mum and me are really similar. Growing up, yeah, we fought like cat and dog. Like, me and my mum had a really like feisty relationship. But looking back now, it's because we were just really, really similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we used to do crazy fun things. We used to play like spirit guide dominoes, where we used to get our spirit guides to play dominoes against each other. Me, my mom, my dad, we played, and we played.
Where's your dad in all of this?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, what does he feel like?
So he held the space for it.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, he held the space for it. But when we used to play Spirit Guide, it was fun. He supports my work. He's in the UK, and I call him. And when you've had a career in film for 10 years and you've been really successful in what you've done, and then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm doing this intuitive work full time now. It takes a lot of guts to have that. I've had that family support, and that's been really awesome.
That's amazing.
So key.
Are different areas of the world more? I don't even know what to say. Not spiritual. I'm just talking kind of will ping you more than others, whether it's spirit or some sort of spiritual history there where you feel do you have to stay away from some areas and you'd rather live in a certain place? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. So I know that all of us have places where we will all feel more spiritually aligned, like a spiritual home. So it's when you go on holiday and you feel oh my God, I've lived here before. What's that connection? And there are places where you won't resonate with, and you won't, your body, won't work to the best of its ability because you're not vibrating to the ley lines, because there are the energetic ley lines that cross the globe. You won't be resonating with those ley lines. So that's why. So for example, I love Australia. I spent some time in there in my early 20s and was this place is awesome. Flying into Sydney, I burst into tears. And when I left, I burst into tears. I was like, why am I crying? This is crazy. And then Vancouver, feel really at home, had this being at home there. But then California, I remember saying age 9, one day I'm going to live in California. And I know that that's coming in. I know that I'm going to be living in California. So yeah, you can have that connection to where you're supposed to be on the planet. And your life will also change depending on what city that you're in. So for me, when I was living in London and I moved to Vancouver, people were like, well, why did you move to Vancouver? It was a life punt. It was literally an intuitive hit for my spirit guides of you need to go and live in Vancouver. And Vancouver, it's been the place where I've had my spiritual shift. It's where I'm doing this work full time, where I've met my man. It's all of it. It's been a really, really powerful melting pot for me.
Vancouver rocks.
Yeah.
It's stunning. I was there a few months ago, and we were to someone, we're we want to do a hike, a casual hike. And they're do the Grouse Grind. It's casual, it's easy. It was 3 hours of steps.
It's horrible.
Yo,
the Grouse Grind. Horrible.
I was it was
zigzag.
Oh my God.
For 80 flights.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And people race it.
People race that we got to the top. There was people that had done it 10 times that day.
Okay.
It was bizarre.
And you just want kind of plateaus, maybe a little incline. And then
little incline. I don't even need a top. I literally don't even need a...
Put me on the track.
No, literally, I don't even need a top. Put me on the track. I'm good. It was crazy. So how can our listeners, a lot of our listeners, shifting a little bit, they're working in jobs and maybe there's a negative energy around them, or, wherever they are. How can people protect themselves from negative energies?
Good question. Love it. Firstly, call in your guides for protection. They're there to be used. Say, look, hey, this person, I'm not a fan of that person's energy. Protect me from them. I always like to also use the bubble technique, which I find really awesome. So what you do is if you're walking into a situation or you're around a person that you don't like and you don't like their energy, what you do is you imagine yourself in a bubble that goes over your head, under your feet, but it's as wide as if you had your arms all the way out, that it covers. So you've got a proper space around you. But what you do is you imagine that you're in a bubble, but instead of the bubble being without your energy can't get out, and it block, so it doesn't act as a block. You see it has tiny holes in it. So you see the bubble and it has tiny holes. So you can give your awesome energy out. You can receive the awesome energy coming in from other people, but it keeps all the bullshit out. And it like acts as that force field. And so what I do is when I'm walking into those situations, I just say, hey guides, call in the bubble. And I just imagine the bubble, and it really, really, really helps.
Love it. Tell a scary story. Yeah, what's like a crazy thing that's happened where you're like, oh, creepy?
Oh, that's a really good one. I actually haven't shared this on any podcast before because I'm always really nervous about sharing it.
We're ready.
This is when we put in the audio where it's like exclusive.
Yes. And hey, I think my guides are telling your guides, you need to be more vulnerable.
Damn it. It's coming back both ways.
Vulnerable. There's a key word, vulnerable.
This is hilarious. So I had an experience in my early 20s where I was in a house that had a real negative energy as part of it. Oh yeah, it all gets me all shivery when I talk about it. It's all right.
Put your bubble on.
I got my bubble on. So we were in this house. It was a friend's house. It was actually her 21st birthday party. And we were all there celebrating her birthday. But it was this house that had a lot of history to it. It was really old. I'm like 1400s old, like really old in the English countryside vibes. We were in the house and I said to this, we were smoking some weed. And I said to the girl, her sister, I said, why have you put that poster up? Why have you put that poster up? And she looked at me and she said, well, that's where the energy comes out. And I said, okay.
Oh God.
You said you wanted a scary story.
Love this. Keep going.
And so what happened was the energy came out and it hit me. It hit me like I've never experienced before, where I felt something come out from something and hit, like actually kind of like bash me. And I was suddenly like, whoa, like what is that?
Honey, a little poster isn't going to cover up the energy.
No.
She's like, this is my NSYNC poster. It covers the energy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So fast forward the rest of the evening. Basically, I had an evening where the negative male energy that was associated and attached to in this house basically picked on me all evening, and I had was really scared and was kind of not in my body as this energy kind of attacked me. I was under a psychic attack. And at the time, I didn't know how to protect myself. Like, I'd never experienced anything like this. It was probably the most scariest thing I'd had. Yeah, that was the scariest thing that I had. But I had to go and get, we actually had to go and get the house. My mum suggested that to the person who had the mum of the house, that the house should get exorcised. Yeah. And they looked into it and the house was regularly exorcised. It'd been exorcised. It'd been, because it's part of the parish council. It had been on the books of this parish, on this parish council, because it's the church that does the exorcism. And it had this house had been continually exorcised for like hundreds of years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does it mean when you can't exorcise the bad spirit out of it? You just leave it?
You can try and encourage it to go to the light. So that's what the exorcism is about. It's all about like taking it back to the light. But sometimes you can't do that. Like sometimes it's part of that house. And
Poor
so you
girl.
can, right?
That was your friend who lived there?
Yeah, they lived there.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
They don't still live there?
No,
Okay.
no. They don't live there anymore.
Whoa.
And so she knew there was an energy.
Yeah, so they knew they
I
knew
wonder if that was like
an energy.
stairs or what was behind the poster.
It was literally just that's where
That spot.
it was just that spot. So you can have hot spots. It was just that hot spots. But I'm always a big believer of there's a lot of energy right now around light versus dark and what that's about. And people get scared. Like I don't want to scare people when telling that story. Like that's not my intention. That's not why I'm here. But it's important for everyone to realize that like negative energy exists. Like we're in a world right now where we're really focusing on the light. Like we're all, all light workers. But it's important for us to remember that we live in a world of duality. Like we live in, where there's light, there's dark, where there's love, there's hate. Like, but it's also about like using the light and the love to conquer the negative energy. I mean, look at what's going on in the world right now. Look at politics. Look at Me Too. Like all of this stuff that's around right now it's that, we're using the light to step up and to make changes. And we have the choice to choose the light or the dark. Like we all have, it's a choice within us, which side of us, because we all have dark in us. But we can learn so much about our shadow sides. Sometimes you need to look at your shadow side for you to connect into the light.
If you feel like someone is dark, is that a spirit inside of them that is kind of taking over, or is it that they are a dark person?
I believe that it's more of a dark energy. It's more of a dark entity than they are a dark person. A lot of the time, it is the fact that they don't really understand or they don't really realize, and that their life can be affected or their personality can be affected by a dark energy that is around them. They don't realize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Sometimes I felt that and I want to like help. And then I'm like, should I not get too close?
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, I don't want that on me.
You can be slimed by people like that.
Yeah.
You can have that negative energy get put onto you.
Yeah.
It's back into listen to your own intuition. Vibes don't lie. If something doesn't feel right and you shouldn't be around that person, step back. Like don't get involved.
Totally.
Oh, got it. The shadow side thing. So how do you explore your shadow side safely? Like how do you get to know that so you could use it to evolve?
Good question. Thanks. We're professional. The shadow side is a game changer. So for me, exploring the shadow side for me has been about like what my biggest, deepest fears are and like how I can work with them. So instead of me running away from them, it's like I'm ready to stand them like face on. It's like being in a nightmare and that energy that you're scared of, like you got your hands on your hips and you're facing it and you're like, okay, like how do I work with this? How am I going to work with you and benefit? And so it benefits me, but I can also heal from it, because pain and suffering, we have it in us to heal it versus letting it like run us. Because a lot of the time we can get stuck in these pain and the fear stories, but it's actually about using it and looking at the shadow side to be able to bring it out. My one tip is go and write down a list of what scares you. Go and write down a list of what is holding you back. Like, because really we all know what's holding us back. It's just not that acknowledgement of like, I'm scared this isn't going to happen. I'm scared what people think about me. I'm scared about like saying the wrong thing. And you kind of need to look at that and see where it comes from and be like, okay, I'm willing to use this to break through the barriers.
Love it.
I can't wait to talk to my spirit guide.
No, Phil. Spirit guide, Phil.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, maybe I now know because you said it.
No. You get to name your spirit guide. You get to have a name. Okay, shadow work.
Yeah, shadow work. It's powerful.
Yeah.
I do like a one-on-one mentorship where I take people we do inner child work, where we go back and we go and kind of get all your inner child together and the shadow work. And
How do you do that?
The inner child work it's all through guided meditation. And you literally go and you intuitively go back to where you were at certain ages, where trauma happened or things happened in your life that you haven't really let go of. Because we have all these fears and insecurities on a deep soul level that we carry with us that we don't really realize. So something that happened to you age 3 or 4 that you think you're fine with, but you don't realize you've been carrying around the weight or the burden of what that thing is. It could just be as simple as, you didn't get to do something that you thought you were going to do, or someone took something away from you, but it's kept you on, you've held on to it. So what we do is you go back to all the different areas or times of your life that you've experienced pain or trauma, and we go and heal you at that age. So we go find your 12-year-old self and do the healing on them and say, hey, I've got you. It's time to let this go. You're going to be fine. And you can go and heal yourself at that age and see the transformation and see the shifts.
Mm-hmm. On past lives, do you think you can be animals? Like, do you think you can be different, like, beings? Like, what are your thoughts on past lives?
Past lives on an animal front, this is, for me, it's always more about humans, like the human existence. I do believe in that we could have had like lives on different planets, but more a case of when we've chosen to have like a human existence. Past lives, 100%. Like, past lives are real. Again, it's all about healing past lives. So you can acknowledge and find out what the past life was, but the point of it is to do the healing, because you will repeat the same patterns over and over again and the same stories over and over until you do the healing and you move on from it, which is why, people come like, oh, I'm attracting the same guy all the time. Like, what is this to do with? I'm always, being abandoned, or I'm always being left, or I always feel like, it's like, well, hang on a second, let's tune in to see where your past lives are. And you will 9 times out of 10, it's because you've experienced this in a past life. Yeah.
Is there any way you can tell what happened in your past lives?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So for me, it works 2 ways. I can go in and I can tell you your past lives. Like, they show me what the past lives were, but I also lead people on past life regressions. So cool. I get to I lead you, so you go and see the life that you need to go and see that day. So what it is that, so you say you're going through something in this lifetime and you have a past life regression, you then say, okay, show me the lifetime that I need for the healing today. And they do. You get taken to that life, and it's great because you get to see it like a moving picture in front of you. You get to see it like a moving image and interact and see, where you were, how you passed, your relationships, where in the world you were, and you play out your life and see what that feels like to be that person. Yeah, it's so transformational, because then it's like, oh my God, I was shown this life, and now I know I have a fear of heights, or I now know why I get like, I have a big problem about money and what the meaning of money, or, it brings up so many different things depending on what life you get shown.
Whoa. What about dreams? Like, what is the best way to kind of like draw messages from your dreams? What if you're having like nightmares? Mm-hmm. How do you like translate dreams?
Yeah, dreams are so powerful. So, so powerful. I think I realized as a kid that my gifts and my talents through my dreams, because I used to lucid dream. So I used to stop and I used to change them, and I used to say, no, I don't like that. Can we bring something else in? And I kind of matrix style them up and then bring them in, which was always really good fun.
I know what a little kid dream was. Like, no, 20 ponies. Make them pink.
I love it. Yeah, no, they're the wrong color. I want them all
You're
to
like
be
rainbow tails.
Yeah. Sparkle. Dreams are really powerful. So best ways that you can connect with your dreams, get a dream journal, like actually get a dream journal, and also ask your guides, like, please give me messages in my dreams tonight. I want to receive messages from you. And then have the dream journal by your bed, because what happens is you come round and you're not really in it. And then what happens is you come around and you forget them. You're like, damn it, I've forgotten it. But if you have the pen and the book, literally just scroll what's coming through. I've really noticed recently that I've been having a lot of I've had recurring dreams. And the more I wrote them down, I was like, oh my God, I've been dreaming about this for the last 2 weeks. Okay, what's this about? And actually looking at them and analyzing them a bit and being like, okay, so this symbol keeps coming up. What's this to do with?
Wow.
I dream about boats all the time. I'm always on a journey. I'm always on a boat. Like me in the water, I'm always on a boat.
I'm in water too.
Yeah, lots of boats, lots of water dreams. So yeah, ask your guides and just start noticing the patterns and the themes. And nightmares, again, ask your guides for protection. I like to use a black cloak. So you imagine you can do a complete shutdown. If you want to do a complete shutdown before you go to bed, imagine that you've got a really thick black cloak on. See it going like you have a hood, black hood, pull the hood up. Imagine that it runs all the way over you and you've switched off. That really helps.
Whoa. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy
What
dreams.
was your most recent dream?
My most recent dream, I don't remember. But I know last week I was having a lot of like vivid dreams, but I don't remember them now. So I should have had my journal. But I think there was also things that were like unresolved. Something when I'm like stressed, or I have, like we were talking about in our reading, like speaking your truth and like just really opening up more, so your throat chakra even more. And when I'm not speaking my truth, whether it's in a relationship or whatever it is, I tend to have like really vivid dreams that like wake me up. I'm like, oh God, like it's just unsettling, you know? So it's like that feeling during the day of being unsettled translates over quite quickly. And I know, and I can feel it in my body physically. I'm more tired, I'm tighter, you know? But yeah, well, you had a great suggestion to sync up your throat chakra and your solar plexus. So we've talked about chakras on the podcast before. So ways in which people can do that. You recommended crystal work.
Yeah.
And meditation.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Crystal work and meditation and, and essential oils as well.
Essential oils. That was the
one. Yeah. You can really get aligned with that. So intuitively picking crystals that you're drawn to, like throat chakra. I know we talked about lapis lazuli. I mean, it's a real, and you specifically for you, and just bring in that. And so what you do is you put the crystal on the chakra and then breathe in the energy of that crystal onto the chakra, but also use the specific color that's associated with that chakra. So for example, with a throat chakra, you can put lapis lazuli on the throat at the base of, right at the base of your throat, and you breathe in the color blue and imagine that you've got like a blue disc spinning one way, clearing out the chakra, and then imagine the disc like changing direction and then spinning out the other way. And that just really helps clear out and re-energize the chakra. Yeah, it's a real game changer.
Good one.
Yeah. And so just, again, it's all intuitive. Like listen to your own body. Like listen to feel like what's like where things aren't aligned. Like if you're really struggling to be grounded or have foundations, if you're moving house or you are not feeling grounded in your life, really work on your root chakra. Like bring in the salt baths like we were talking about. Bring in essential oils like the woody, like the cedar woods, like bring in the woody oils, like rub them on the base of your feet, like, or just go and stand outside in nature with your socks off, and your bare feet, and just, get connected and feel the earth beneath your feet, and just imagine Mother Earth energy like supporting you and guiding you. Yeah, it's the small things.
I know. People are like, it's too easy. What can I buy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, sit in the grass. No.
Right?
I want to pay $200 for something.
Right? I need
crazy.
I need that expensive thing to
They
make
need
it
that
happen.
exchange to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That feels
But
like
the
a
energy's
transaction.
all there.
Yeah. The permission. It's like, it's all there. It's just giving yourself the permission to be able to make the changes and make that connection. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's unlimited source potential all around your body, and you just have to have that, the power to access it, which you do. Everyone does.
Wow. What are you excited about this year? What's going on? Tell us about the programs. What can our babes do in following to this?
So a couple of ways you can work with me. So I do one-on-one sessions. So I do one-on-one upgrade sessions called the Soul Upgrade, which is what you two experienced yesterday.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I connect with your spirit guides, and we basically channel your guides, and we find out where your blocks are, where you're at, future. Like it's a real kind of all experience, but for me, it's all about giving you the tools. So I don't like it when you go to a reading and they just tell you this stuff and then they're like, see ya, bye. For me, it's all about giving you those spirit tools personalized to you so that you can make changes. So that's one way that you can work with me. I also do a mentorship scheme. So if you're interested in really delving deep into shadow work and ancestral healing and inner child work and like tapping into your own intuition more, I do mentorship work as well. So you work with me for 3 months and get really deep. People have had like huge transformations. They're like, oh my God, Nat, working with you for 3 months has been insane. I also get guided. So get guided is 11 days. You can work with your guides. You can, in 11 days, you get a real strong connection with your guides.
Can you start that at any time?
You can start that any time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's anytime. It comes into your inbox, and it's not the beauty of it is digital. It's a digital course, so it's there's no particular start date, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I'm doing right now. I've also had this big book download, which I was never expect. I was always like, one day I'll write a book, but literally in the last month, they've been like, you're writing a book. So I was like, okay. So yeah, I'm excited about where that's going as well. So yeah, it's all about spreading the word and helping people get connected to their own intuition and spirit guides.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so important. It's like secret sauce to probably what people have been blocked to for like a long time.
Yeah. I like too how you were like very, I mean, you know what's going on even more so than, you know, you could even have let on, but you very much let me lead it. It was like you led it, but I also led it.
It was a conversation for sure.
It was like,
I didn't feel like I just had to sit and listen.
Yeah. And I felt like there was like, and I really felt like in yours, like the free will was there and the free will is there and it is happening. And I mean, I've seen probably 5, 6, 7 psychics in the past couple of years. And I mean, I've only seen one other psychic that was like as spot on as you. And that was like 2012. Like I was like, every time I've been like, okay. You know, I'm like, sure. I'm not a bitch. I'm like, sure. I see being nice. Yeah. But I was like, I mean, it was real. I was like, it's crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, cannot wait to share you. Yeah. And it felt good too, because I've been wanting to have someone that I could share with our audience.
Yeah. We were just talking about that earlier.
You know, like they ask a lot. So having you as like our go-to is like perfect, because I didn't have someone that was like, just, you know, with the guides in your wheelhouse, you know, works with people one-on-one like that we could recommend. So I'm happy.
Me too. Me too.
Love it.
And so can you plug your website and
where can people find you?
Instagram?
Yeah, where can people find me? So Instagram, it is I am Natalie Miles, Miles, as in the distance. And my website is natalie-miles.com. Yeah, natalie-miles.com.
Great.
Yeah. Love it.
So good.
So good. Well, we love you guys.
We're going to go
excited to bring you another great
episode. Yeah, literally. So good. I'm still floating from yesterday.
Yes.
But we're going to go outside and actually walk on grass. So
yeah. Yeah.
All right. We love you guys. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week and join our secret Facebook group. Connect with Natalie ASAP.
ASAP.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yes. Bye.
Bye.
Good one.
Such a good one.
That's such a good one.
Talking to my spirit guides constantly now.
All day. Justin's name is Sophia and she's so sweet.
Oh.
She is so sweet. She's so sweet.
Mine's name is Jack. He's a man.
Oh.
I did this. Yeah.
Big dick.
He has.
Mine's a little like,
she's
like a little funny. Sometimes I like hear her say stuff. I'm like, yeah, they're funny. Like just like to fuck with me. I don't know.
Mine's pretty quiet. He held my head the other day in Milana's session. He literally was like holding it. She was like down there and he was up there. And I told her that. And she's like, yeah, I felt him in the room. It's like, okay.
Wow.
So just so you know, guys, you can call forward your spirit guides. And if you think it is real weird, I just say, try it. You don't have to tell anyone you're trying it.
They want to know you. They want to connect with you. They love you so, so very much.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode with Natalie. How rad is she? She's just like
best psychic ever.
The coolest.
love hanging
intuitive
out with
I've
her.
ever met.
Yeah.
And human.
Yeah, she's just fun. Like she's our friend. So make sure to get tickets for the August 11th event in Seattle at the Riveter, which is a gorgeous space. We're really excited to be partnering with them. So that event is pretty special. It's going to be more workshop style with Natalie. She's going to be doing some very special things with everyone there. So we're going to really get to know spirit guides during that time. So we're really excited for that event. So make sure to grab your tickets.
You can go to almost30podcast.com, click on our events tab. And thank you so much. We have so many new members to our Facebook group. So welcome. And if you are not part of the group, come on in, just request to join and we'll get you in there. There's a lot of amazing conversations going on. Literally, I saw like 50 comments show up in like 30 minutes after someone had asked a question. And it gets, it could be as simple and surface as what shampoo do you love to something
really deep,
super deep and personal and vulnerable. And we're here for you for all of that. So we love you. Subscribe, rate, and review. Share with your friends. It means so much to us. It's how we grow.
Thanks for sharing.
We just love you. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your week.
See you on tour.
See you on tour,
Bye-bye.
honeys. Bye.
Bye.